As we close out one year and begin another, we're excited to take some time to celebrate how great it is to live in the Inland Northwest. Thank you for joining us for this KREM 2 Plus special. I'm Nicole Hernandez. Join me as we count down the top 10 Inland Northbest stories of the year. We created this list based on the articles and videos you clicked on at KREM.com, along with our other digital channels. So let's jump right in at number 10. A couple doing renovations in Okanogan County stumbled upon quite the surprise, a beautiful hand-painted 60-foot mural.
I was dumbfounded. It doesn't take much to do that for me, but I was pretty like, okay, this is pretty weird. We bought the building. We kind of got a rough plan, like, okay, we're going to clean it up. We got to the walls, which were lath and plaster, and they were pretty deteriorated. I was looking at it and I was like, well, let's see what's behind there, because we'd picked away at a little bit of it under one of the faux columns that had been on the walls. So we started pulling things away, and we found this segment first right behind us, exposed most of this wall, and then one of my guys was like, hey, I think there might be another painting on the wall behind us. And I said, no, there's no way. And sure enough, there was another 60-foot painting.
He called me and he, like, there's a huge painting behind the wall. I'm going, what are you talking about? That's when everything just started. Everyone was coming in going, we heard about this. Small town word travels fast.
I've lived here since I was 2 years old, which is 90 years. Well, my dad bought this building in 1938 or 39. I was about in the 6th grade. Had a grocery store here, and as we grew up, we all worked here.
It's been everything. I mean, this started out as like a play theater, a movie theater, a butcher shop, a grocery store, a feed store, house of draperies, a bank. I mean, you've got so much history here. This place is as Okanogan as it gets.
I can't tell you how many phone calls I've had from people that they've seen this all over. How it's gotten all over the country, I don't know.
You had never seen it?
No, because we had shelves up, and canned goods all along these shelves, and there was probably wallboard over them. So no, we never saw them.
So the Okanogan Historical Society found an article talking about this painting. A man named W.J. McConnon came from Wenatchee in the early 1900s and painted this, and it describes it perfectly. 120 feet of canvas landscape done in light tan. Our big goal is to take and not restore it. It's not something that we want to repaint. It's something we want to conserve.
I think it's really a miracle that they found them and they're in good condition, and it'll be really neat for them to be refurbished and people be able to come in and see them, and when you get your restaurant going, and it's a really neat thing.
It was like a lightning bolt hit, and everybody was, I've been there, I saw that, I shopped there as a kid, I went to the House of Draperies, I owned the House of Draperies, and it's just this outpouring of support from the community and the country at large at this point. Come to Okanogan. We joke whenever we go out and work, we're driving into a postcard, is what we say most mornings.
There's a lot of rich local history, and
we're not just saying that, here it is.
And our next story at number 9 takes us to North Idaho. That's where I had the opportunity to meet up with musician Ethereal and E. He started playing handpan on the streets of Coeur d'Alene a decade ago, and now he has an audience of millions. Setting up on a beach overlooking Lake Coeur d'Alene, musician Ethereal and E is bringing a whole new level of peace to this spot.
I play handpan, which is a steel drum.
The handpan, a relatively new, not very well-known instrument. Adam Foote's love for the handpan started decades ago.
I actually played the drums at the church that I went to as a kid and had this experience of being on a stage and performing in front of a crowd of people.
That was the beginning of Foote's goal to be a professional musician, but life quickly knocked that goal down.
I became an adult and went to college, got married, got a job, had a baby, and all of those childhood dreams kind of go out the window when reality sets in.
But deep down, Foote never let that dream go.
And I wanted that again. And so I bought myself a drum set.
He joined a band and life was good until that band replaced him. Again, knocked back down.
I was donating plasma for cash, and laying there in the donation bed, and I was flipping through percussion-related videos, just dreaming of being a professional musician. And I came across this video of a guy in a London subway playing a handpan for tips.
That's what started it all. Foot saved up for 3 years to buy his first handpan.
You know, when I first started, I was on the street corner.
For years, Foot was busking on Sherman Avenue.
Hey, Melissa.
He posted about his journey on Facebook, gaining a bit of traction.
What's up, Thomas? And then I switched over to TikTok, and TikTok just exploded.
Foot went quickly from 200,000 followers to over 8 million in just 2 years.
TikTok really just, I guess, took me from a amateur professional musician to a really true professional musician.
Now, music is his full-time profession.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Instead of rocking out in front of a live crowd like his childhood goal, Foot plays for thousands every day online.
It's cool to see all the people and where they're from all around the world.
His message now spreading worldwide. All from the same home base he started busking in 10 years ago.
People are just so caught up in everyday life that they forget to actually live life. And sometimes it takes like getting lost in a rhythm, a moment, to help you to remember that this moment is the only moment that we have.
From a musician to desserts for rock stars. That's how Brudu Bakery markets itself. Coming in at number 8, KREM 2 photographer Dave Summers gives us an inside look at the Spokane Valley Bakery.
My name is Gage Lang, and I'm the owner of Brudu Bakery here in Spokane Valley, Washington. We're a rock and roll American pastry shop. It was like a blend of my love of voodoo donuts and then my time at Biscuit, which was like a rock and roll biscuit shop. So we brought that menu here and then combined my love for pastry and rock and roll in one. So that's Brudu. I just have a profound love for Kurt and Courtney. So we took our lemon cookie, our chocolate chip cookie, and then our slice of cake up there. So we blended them in, and then in Kurt's glasses, he's got cookies, and then he's wearing our skull emblem on the shirt. For Brudu, it was a combination of coffee, brewing, and then the sounding of do voodoo. We were mostly a delivery service when we started, and then we have a lot of wholesale accounts, so we sell to local coffee stands and grocery stores. And then our end goal was to have a retail shop, so we finally made it, and that's what this is. We're doing our biscuit dough here. Everything in our bakery is made from scratch. So biscuit dough, portioning, pressing. Then we freeze them because we use a high-fat butter. So if we didn't freeze them, they'd be like a foot wide. So we have to freeze them to contain that butter, and then we bake them off fresh every morning. I did a little bit of pastry school in high school with this gal here, and then the rest was just in the field and self-taught. And so I think pastry school was a good place to touch on everything, but then really it's up to you after that to figure your voice out in food. So we've got a little bit of everything, and then adding that breakfast just is one more thing. That we've never been open at 7 a.m. and now we are. So come get breakfast, coffee, dessert, bring your family, bring your friends.
And we're sticking with the food theme for our number 7 story. Known for its big slabs of cornbread and a second serving of soup or chili, Panhandler Pies was an icon in Sandpoint. We were there as the owners retired this February after 33 years.
The cinnamon rolls are so good, and I love all the decorations because it just makes me feel like home here.
The food's great, but when you walk in, it's just like, it brings back so many memories.
My parents moved to Sandpoint when I was 16, and so we've been coming here, ever since then. For every birthday, every special occasion, it's let's go get a slice. We always go and get pie.
Mine was razzleberry, very hot with that vanilla ice cream.
Razzleberry, straight, not warm.
Sour cream lemon.
Pecan.
Pecan. Oh, the peanut butter chocolate is to die for.
These folks have been eating here for how many years? I've been waiting on them for 25.
Yeah, from 94 on.
Yep.
It was a good place to work. Rex was a good boss, and we actually had fun working here.
I worked here for about 19 years. When I retired, he told me I could have pies for half price as long as I lived. I said he probably thought I wouldn't live so long.
Every birthday for all of our friends, and they were like every month we were here. You know what? You guys aren't saying anything down there.
We're fine down here.
I think it was because he was consistent with his food. People that knew what to expect. And of course the waitresses were good too.
I know Rex and Maria personally, so I'm happy for them because I know they're ready for retirement and they're an amazing, amazing couple. But I'm sad for everyone in Sandpoint because this is kind of a staple of our community. Always bring the kids for their birthdays, for their birthday breakfasts, so we've loved this place. We're sad to see it go.
We just had to make that last trip and say goodbye.
I had a lot of good employees, and I had quite a few great employees. And I'd like to say thanks to all of them and for the success they brought me along with themselves. And to the customers, gosh, so many loyal customers I've known for since I've been here, 32 years, 30 years, whatever it's been. And I hear it from people all the time. They've been coming in for year after year, and I appreciate that. I love the restaurant business, always have, but I'm ready to move on, and enough's enough.
Our number 6 story will bring back some memories for Spokane natives. Let us introduce you to the neon sign maker and shop owner who are working together to help light the city back up again.
I got to use special glasses so I can see it.
It's intense, complicated, detailed work.
Almost like an alchemy. You're mixing elements and poof, making light.
Tony Braun is making science an art.
I went to neon sign school in rural Minnesota.
Decades mastering the making of neon signs, all to be ruined by LEDs.
I thought my neon career was finished.
Eventually, he moved to Spokane.
I'm sure it's old.
Where Chris Bovey is lighting up his driveway.
Like UPS drivers, this is their favorite stop.
Historic signs buzz to life at night.
I've always loved neon, especially the old neon of Spokane.
So when a local neon worker retired, Chris bought the shop.
So that's how it kind of fell into my lap. Obviously, not a neon shop falls out of the sky every day, but you know.
But he did not know.
Yep.
Not know how to bend neon at all.
This guy walks up to me out of the dark and he says, "Man, that's a cool sign." And I'm looking for a shop to bend in. And I was like, dude, this is crazy because I just bought a neon shop last week.
And I'm like, I've been doing this for 25 years. So that's how we got together.
Now the two are working together to light up more than just Chris's yard.
That's what I would like to do, is kind of light Spokane back up again.
What was this garage before?
Just a garage, man. It didn't get much use.
Now full of bending, bombarding, heating, filling.
But it's finally at that point where we're able to produce a quality piece of glass and be able to consistently produce quality.
We've been so busy instantly. As soon as he said he had the shop, the work just started coming in.
Chris added this neon venture to his famous vintage prints business, creating vintage prints and neon.
I love it. I hope others love it too, but it's not necessarily dependent on that. You know what I'm saying?
Chris instead is defining success by how bright he can make Spokane.
And we're halfway through our countdown to the top 10 Inland Northbest stories of the year. I'm Nicole Hernandez. Our number 5 story piqued the interest of antique lovers across the Inland Northwest. This past June, the family of Don Pearson hosted a major estate sale, and we got an early look at the impressive collection.
This has got to be the largest, for this kind of stuff. I don't know if there's a bigger sale than this. Don Pearson, he was a huge collector. He had the finer antiques. He loved going out, and it was kind of an adventure of finding treasures. Everyone that you would ask about Don, they'd say he was the nicest person that they've ever met in Spokane. We were just blessed to know him. I wish they could have a statue in Spokane representing just how nice he was. Yeah, he probably started collecting about 55 years ago, and you can see he had a lot of antiques here, and we still have a lot more to come in, so we're going to be doing sales through the whole summer. He loved his Kerman rugs He loves the chandeliers. Those are probably the two biggest items that he just fell in love with. He's probably got about 200 rugs and probably 35 chandeliers or so. He's got probably 8 to 10 baby grand pianos. These vases, these are Venetian vases. They're one of a kind and they're 8 foot tall. And this is just one of the rooms that we're going to be having an estate sale for. This is going to be the first one that we have for starting Thursday. He lived on the South Hill, never been married, no kids. He was a big storyteller. He could tell stories for hours and hours and hours. He'd just go on and on and on. He'd always say, you really want to listen to this? Yeah, we want to listen to this. I mean, he was just a fun person to be around. He had a lot of friends. 55 years of collecting, you're just not going to find this. It's kind of a treat just to come out and see this. If he was still alive, the problem is, if he came down here and he was still alive, he'd probably want to buy everything, you know? We're going to have a lot of people coming out here just to see some of the Don's items that he had. Don's in everybody's heart.
Now to a mystery that had Spokane talking for months. A bike sitting on top of a concrete pillar in the middle of the Spokane River. How did it get there and why is it there? KREM 2 photographer Dave Sommers digs deeper in our number 4 story.
A week ago, about 10 o'clock, we walk across this way a couple times a week and we saw it out there.
Well, we just walked by it, it's kind of strange.
It looks like it doesn't, I don't know, it looks like it's been there,
We noticed a bike right over on top of that pillar.
It looks like it's been, oh my gosh, I can't even talk.
Well, it's a point of curiosity of how it got there.
We're just noticing that there might be some wires helping hold it up.
It looks to me like either somebody packed a ladder out there and climbed up there with it, or they devised some other method of getting it up there. That's what I think.
We were just having this conversation about where it came from.
Brings on all kinds of questions.
I think there had to be more than one person, no doubt. Probably 2 or 3.
Just figured, someone must have worked really hard to climb up there and stick this bike on there and tie it down good. They wanted to make other people have some fun or entertainment, so. Yeah. Somebody's got a lot of time on their hands.
I don't know. I really don't know. It looks like, what I was trying to say is it looks like it's art, but I don't know.
Somebody was very clever.
What do you think should happen?
Nothing. Leave it alone. See what happens.
I don't know. It's a mystery.
And for our number 3 story, we are headed back to school. KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan shows us how a group of middle schoolers turned what they were learning in the classroom into a real-life solution for the Spokane SWAT team.
It's going to be like an exoskeleton. We have like the square of the camera.
Right now, the kids are all in different groups. Draw it out and then we'll build it.
In Kim Taylor's advanced engineering class at Sacagawea Middle School, ideas come to life.
Do you guys have any drawings?
We have what's called direct drive.
Instead of textbooks and presentations, students use CAD programs and 3D printers to turn sketches into reality.
This is the one that we are printing for the SWAT team.
And their creations are far more than just concepts.
And they lay it on a warm bed.
These middle schoolers are designing and making tools that Spokane police officers use on the streets.
It's fantastic. So they get to meet and know all the different officers. They get to work with them. And then they get to see something that they actually made as an 8th grader come to fruition, actually work. I don't even know what to tell you. They can tell you.
This class is just really interesting.
It's like much more hands-on. It's my favorite class. To create stuff that are going to be used to help other people.
Taylor's students have designed and printed grasping mechanisms for the bomb squad's robot so it can do things like open doors and pick up keys. And just recently, her class came up with a solution for the SWAT team. Corporal Anthony Guzzo now keeps that creation in the back of his cruiser. It's a 3D printed box specifically designed to hold the SWAT team's drones.
They actually came up with the box itself.
The box with the drone inside is then mounted on an extendable pole. It allows officers to use the drone's powerful cameras in situations where it's not feasible to fly. Corporal Guzzo says he tried to create the box on his own, but then turned to Taylor's class for help, and they took it from there.
Knew exactly what I wanted. They're taking measurements, and like there must have been in that first 5 minutes 6 or 7 different ideas that went out as to how they were going to make this happen.
KREM 2 was there as police put the student's creation to use just last month. A robbery suspect was holed up inside an RV in North Spokane. That's Corporal Guzzo using the middle schooler's creation to use the drone to see inside the camper, where the thermal imaging cameras showed them exactly where the suspect was hiding.
It was incredible to see them get to be faced with a real world problem, and then all the way through from design to printing to actually being able to watch that clip from the RV and see things that they had created in their classroom at the middle school level actually used for real life stuff.
The drone is about that large. But
8th grader Josh Souders did the bulk of the work on the creation.
Me too, I know.
One prototype, a lot of measurements, and 70+ hours of 3D printing later, it was ready for use.
It was definitely exciting. It kind of made me go, oh wow, my thing is actually being used out in the field, in the real world to help.
The fact that your device could potentially help protect officers in the field, how does that make you feel?
It's great.
So here's the thing.
Taylor urges her students to keep dreaming and keep creating.
And it has to stay exactly where it is.
She wants to show them what they learn here translates to life outside the classroom. As an educator, she says, that's invaluable.
Incredible, the best. I feel like it is the absolute way to teach. For the rest of their lives, they'll remember what they were able to accomplish and who they were able to help.
Anyone wanting to live like royalty here in the Inland Northwest got their chance this summer. At number 2, we take you inside a castle on Lake Pend Oreille that hit the market this past summer.
Oh, it's absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it gives me chills.
Welcome to Castle von Fronston. Be careful with the steps.
There's plenty of food and refreshments and beheadings to come.
Started the whole project back in 2005. I met a castle builder through music. He and I played music together, and he also built a castle up on Schweitzer. My buddy always used to ask me, why are you building a castle? And I'd answer him with, how many castle builders do you know? I know one.
This would be how he visioned it to be in the end when it was completed. Wow. It's really beautiful. It's so incredibly different.
It all started actually finding the property. It was on a 70-foot cliff, perfect for building a castle. We started building it and we played music at the same time.
One day in the year, the fox in the time remembered well.
The acoustics inside the castle, when I play my acoustic guitar, it just resonates. It's beautiful. We'd have many nights up in the tower playing music, and boats would line up out front and watch us, listen to us play. It's a musical castle.
From afar, you envision something that you would assume you'd see inside, and it's nothing what you'd imagine. It's entirely medieval times.
We've spent a lot of time on Lake Pend Oreille, and we would come park our boats in front of the castle and eat our lunch every year. We would ooh and ah over the castle and what was it like inside, and here I am. It's pretty spectacular.
At the time that cometh for the one to go to the temple of the King.
18 years, almost 2 decades. The future is I want to meet the right medievalist to take over from me. A new king is on the horizon, so I can actually spend more time with my children.
It's obviously not something that you built to have a public,
Correct, yeah, I love the privacy. Castles were built to keep things out.
It's been the coolest thing, one of the coolest things you've ever done?
Ever. This is the best thing I've ever done, other than raising my kids.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get to our top Inland Northbest story of the year, let's take a look back at the rest of that list. At number 10, an Okanagan couple uncovers a giant hidden mural. Number 9, a Coeur d'Alene musician brings his love of the handpan to millions of fans online. At number 8, we took you inside Brewdoo Bakery, the Spokane Valley bakery for rock stars. Number 7 brought a final visit to Panhandler Pies in Sandpoint. At number 6, we learned about the effort to relight Spokane's neon past. Number 5 was an antique lover's dream as we got an inside look at the estate of Don Pearson. Coming in at number 4, the mystery of the Spokane River Bike had everyone talking. At number 3, Spokane middle schoolers helped solve a problem for the Spokane SWAT team. And at number 2, a castle for sale on Lake Pend Oreille. So that brings us to our number 1 Inland Northbest story of the year, and it's one that went truly viral. In March, the Quilting Bee was named one of the top quilt shops in the country. KREM 2 News went out to check it out, and soon quilters all over the country were making trips to the Spokane Valley shop.
I do believe Scott nominated us. It's weird, you know, because we just think it's just us here, you know, taking care of our customers. It feels weird that there's other people that in other states and that actually care about what we're doing here. It's an article about the store and about us, and then a quilt that Lori Hine designed for this particular project.
Here's one thing. They're already really busy. So how much more are they going to be able to take?
I think we have the employees that'll be able to handle it. I wish our classroom was bigger so that we could take care of more students. We do about 100 classes a month.
It's fun. Quilting, I mean, as you can see, you just really feel like you've accomplished something. We always have chocolate, and it keeps me social. That, in the last 2 years, it's been so hard. And we always have coffee. It's fun to be here.
Did you guys do okay during all the COVID shutdown?
We did, because people stayed at home and sewed. Masks. Yeah, the tech room saw a lot of old dusty sewing machines coming out of Grandma's garage. If you ask our customers, probably 90% of the stuff they make, they give away as either donated or gifts.
One of the things that I wanted to do when I retired, that still is on my list, is I'm going to quilt quilts for Morning Star, the boys' home. I have one there for my son, and I am so grateful that that's what they do. It has brought him such comfort.
I think providing the place to actually come and be a community and create and inspire each other, that's what we're doing. We're just providing the place and the product. It's not about us, it's about the community and about the customers. They make the Quilting Bee. It's a community store. It's all about them.
Do you think there's anything else?
No, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, the top 10 Inland Northbest stories of the year. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 Plus as we counted them down. You can find more about all these stories on our website. Just go to krem.com/year-in-review. I'm Nicole Hernandez, and we hope you'll join KREM 2 News for more of the Inland Northbest in the new year.